Jessica, and today I have four paper pumpkin alternative cards for you, and I really love how they turned out. So the kit comes with the Berry Burst ink spot, and this is Lemon Lime Twist die cuts. Here are the stamps, and these are kind of like the Oh So Eclectic stamp set, a little smaller. Pretty cute, and these are exclusive stamps, and you can't purchase them outside of the kit. This kit is called Flora and Flutter, and it's got some of the Berry Burst seam binding ribbon, which I love. That was 1 yard, so that's 3 feet. And it also has the Berry Burst baker's twine, and that is not available for purchase. So, and here is the seam binding, and you can buy this from Stampin' Up, and I put a link in the description for that. It's really nice. It's 5/8 inch wide, and I love it. I just had to make a little bow out of it because I've been wanting to get this. And I like the vibrancy of the Berry Burst color. And so the kit also comes with glimmer paper, white glimmer paper. There were 4 3-inch squares of those. There are 4 Whisper White 3x3 envelopes and 4 A2 size Whisper White envelopes, and then 4 Whisper White card bases. And this is Calypso Coral. I didn't know how pretty that paper was because I don't have that cardstock. And here is the glimmer paper. It's kind of hard to see all the shimmer on camera. But the Calypso Coral matches the stamps. And so here are the other Lemon Lime Twist die pieces. I think this would look good with the pandas that are offered in Celebration. I haven't got mine yet. And then we've got these 4 Sahara Sand card bases. And then finally this is Peekaboo Peach. And there are 4 of those. And then there are 4 3x3 Whisper White squares also. There are 8 banners, and there are 12 butterfly die cuts. And the adhesives, there are lots of the 3M tape, and also there were some glue dots. I'll show that in a second. I didn't see those. And here are the instructions for the kit. And this is actually a really pretty card, so you really don't need alternatives, but I like to make alternative projects, so let's get started. I'm going to use this as a stencil, and you really don't need to use this glue. If you apply the Tombow glue and let it dry, it becomes sticky, and it works excellent for masking. So I went ahead and used it. I think that I wouldn't do it because when I went to use the stencil for embossing, it created some problems. So you can just use tape and tape it down. All right, this little piece of paper here is 2 1/4 inches by 4 inches. I'll cut it down later. I want to go ahead and start stenciling the stripes in. And the first layer, I'm actually going to do it lightly, and that's why I'm kind of taking some of the ink off of the ink blending tool. You can use a sponge if you don't have one of these ink blending tools. Now I'm offsetting the stencil, and I want to do it darker the second time. And I could have even done it a little darker than I did. But what this is going to create is a little lighter shadow effect. And using these little stencils looks great when you're embossing, and I do that later. Okay, that's finished, and now I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm using some VersaFine ink here, and I'm going to apply it on the edge. Just take a sheet of paper and line it up, and then apply the black ink. And what this does is it makes it look like you've layered it on black cardstock, but it's really not. And so I've done it to this little card panel as well. So it looks like it's layered on black, but it's not. Okay, and so I stamped the Have a Great Day sentiment. It's a really nice stamp. And now, to kind of finish off the card, I wanted to add some of the butterflies to the top portion of the card. And so I am stamping those out using this black ink. I'm using Tombow glue to adhere the panel down, both panels down to the card base. And Paper Pumpkin is the monthly card kit offered by Stampin' Up, and it costs $19.95 per month. And I have information in that listed in the description box if you're interested in joining. I try to create alternative projects each month and post them here on YouTube. Okay, so I actually end up changing the direction of that ribbon. And so here was the final card. I like this look better. This next card, I didn't actually film this one. I stamped out a background using the stamps, and I also used some Bow Bunny stitching stamps, which I just got, and so I really wanted to use them. I've been trying to sew, but that's not going to work out, so I got some stamps instead. I really like this next card. The Calypso Coral goes really good with the Lemon Lime Twist, and I didn't know that. I'll be giving this card to my sister for her birthday, so I wanted it to be pretty nice. The strips of paper are 1.5 inches wide, and that one's 5 1/4 inches, and that circle is 2 5/8 inches. The coral paper came from the kit, but the Lemon Lime Twist came from my stash. Okay, so I used that stencil and embossed that in white. And that one actually didn't turn out because I forgot to use the embossing buddy, so I had to do it again. And here's where the stencil caused a little bit of problem. But I just used a brush to get that extra off. I wanted some bold splatters on the background. I didn't want a plain background. And so I brought in this stencil so I could get the bold look. There are multiple ways you can get splatters on your card. But in this case, I decided just to emboss. It looks really cool, but most of this actually isn't going to show. Just a few of the splatters will be showing in the end. And I'm also going to put a little bit on the strip of Lemon Lime Twist. And I used black embossing powder for that. most of that's covered up with a circle, so I just did it on the edges. And I'm going to adhere the Calypso coral down, both strips, using the Tombow glue. I'm embossing one butterfly in white right now, and I'm using the heat tool to melt that. Now I'm putting the card together. I want to use dimensionals on the circle, and I decided to use some Whisper White baker's twine, one of the, I think they're called thread bundles, beneath the circle. And I did that off camera because it's kind of tricky to do that. And so I used 4 little dimensionals. This is just something from my stash, and decided that the circle looked better on the diagonal. And I like the circle so much I decided to make another card using that technique. And the little butterfly that I used is actually a glitter. I had used a paper punch to cut that out, and I'm going to emboss Happy Birthday. I didn't like the white banner, so I just got a little black strip of paper, and now I'm embossing that in white. Kind of got off camera there. Okay, I'm melting the powder with my heat tool, and I spend a little bit of time here getting everything just right. I actually had to add 2 dimensionals to the Happy Birthday to get that popped up correctly. That's pretty much it for this card. I did add some twine there, the Calypso coral, and for the final card, I didn't do it here. I added a little bit of scalloping trim. You'll see that in the final picture. So here's the final card. Really super cute. I think she'll like it, and I hope you like it. And I do have one more card, and this one went together pretty quickly. I was inspired by the striped circle, and so I just used a previous sketch and put this one together pretty quickly. And I used the stitching stamps on one of those circles, and I used the butterfly on the other circle. And I actually just took that greeting right off the other card and put it on there. Didn't want to waste my beautiful seam binding ribbon. And that is it for this video. Thanks so much for spending a little time with me today. And I'll see you next time. I'm going to open a blog, and that way I can put all my information and all my projects there. So hopefully I'll have that before the next paper pumpkin comes out. Thanks so much.